Yes, welcome, welcome, welcome. I am Tracy, the Sacred CEO. I'm so happy that my sisters are showing up for this amazing opportunity in this conversation. Monarch to menopause. Monarch to menopause. Let's get right into it. I'm not going to take up too much of your time, but just understand that this information is so very important to us as females. It is not talked about enough. Menstruation isn't given the awareness that's needed for that and the honor of that first blood, that first rites of passage. And menopause has not been given enough information and awareness. And we're not having enough conversations concerning this actual rites of passage as well. There's two very important rites of passages and activations that happens in a woman's life, and that is, excuse me, menstruation, and then there's menopause. And both of them have not gotten the honor and the support that they deserve. So I'm here. I'm Tracy, the Sacred CEO. I'm founder, director of Love My Womb Academy. I'm also high priestess. I am a holistic feminine wellness practitioner. I worked in this space for over 20 years doing, sexual wellness, sensual wellness, holistic wellness, womb health and wellness. We have the number one Feminine Health and Wellness Academy in the nation, Love My Womb Academy. It has trained over 3,300 students all across the world, and it is nationally accredited and board certified with the American Drug List Association and Practitioners, also the Herbal Guild, and just a plethora of accreditations and things like that. So we come to bring value and researched information. And those people that we've also connected with who are pioneers on the journey, because we have a beautiful, beautiful guest today that is a pioneer in women's health and wellness. They are also very connected and have done their research, their homework, and I wouldn't be connected to them if I didn't feel like they had some valuable and trusted information to bring to the community. So going on with Monarch, what is Monarch? What is the Monarch? Menarche. We very rarely hear the word monarch. We always just hear menstruation, right? So Monarch is the first menstrual cycle of the first menstrual bleed in a female. It usually happens between the ages of 10 and 14. What we're noticing is due to diet and different environmental factors, young girls are experiencing menstruation much, much earlier. They're starting to experience menstruation 9, 10. It used to be a time, I think my mother said she started when she was 12, and then my grandmother started when they were 12. And you hear this 12 to 14 range. But what is happening is our young girls are starting much earlier, and we just did I think a couple of Sundays ago, me and Mama Adila Muhammad went in and she spoke highly about the activation of menstruation and honoring that time in a young girl's life. And she actually has a program that she actually has curated for young girls to understand that moon cycle and how important it is to be our own body scientists, right? So I am of the age, the menopausal age, perimenopausal age, and honey, I have definitely been activated into this next level of rites of passage coming into 58. And I have to say, my birthday was just on August the 2nd. I just had my 58th birthday, right? 58 solar returns. And I thought I was going to take myself out and I was going to have a glass of sangria and I was going to eat me a nice plate of fish. I was going to, just kind of honor myself on my 58th birthday. Why? Because I'm coming into my wisdom years. I am the sage now. I am the one that should sit back, relax, receive, don't overgive, don't overdo. That's what the sage is about. That's what this wisdom years are about. It's about slowing down, not slowing down with age, but slowing down as far as beginning to preserve and conserve energy. That's the wisdom part of it. You learn how to preserve and conserve energy. So I thought I was going to go out and I was going to have me a nice time and just honor myself, right? I was looking cute, y'all. If y'all seen my picture, I was cute, right? Well, happy to say that I did do some work between the hours of 9 and 1. And then I was going to come down and, enjoy my grandkids and take myself out. And then I just felt a little moist down there. I said, well, maybe I'm just a little moist. I am still, I still a very sensual, sexual woman at 58. That hasn't shut down. So I went to the bathroom to wipe myself, and I have actually bleed. I'm bleeding. I'm bleeding. Like, not spotting, bleeding. I had to change my clothes. I have not had a menstrual cycle in 2 years. Let's be clear. So I was very taken aback because I'm thinking, okay, I went through my perimenopause stage. I'm in menopause. I'm in complete menopause. They say if you haven't had a menstruation within a year, you're in menopause. Okay. Well, the body is going to do its own thing when it want to do its own thing. So what I took from that, so basically on my birthday, August 2nd, I got very lethargic. I had to go lay down. I was confused. I was extremely tired. I was hungry. I was a hot mess. So my initial plans of taking myself out for my birthday, that didn't happen. I was in the bed on my 58th birthday. I was asleep by 4 p.m. My grandkids came in. They thought I was going to wake up at some point so they could wish me happy birthday and have my cake. They came into my bedroom at 8:30 with the cake, with the candles, telling me to blow them out. And I'm looking like Popeye with one eye going and going back to sleep. It wasn't what I expected, right? It wasn't what I expected, but I learned something. I learned that on my 58th birthday, what was happening was on a spiritual level, I was being activated for my next level. And if we understand in our indigenous cultures, when we gave offerings and had rituals, it usually had blood related to it. Come on. I'm teaching. I'm teaching from a whole nother level. So I need you to open your mind here. Okay. It's not about religion. It's about not what you believe. It's not about none of that. It's about what is. In our indigenous cultures, when we came into a rites of passage, or if we did ritual, there was some blood sacrifice involved. Okay, so I looked at it as in coming into my 58th chapter. I definitely they needed some blood. They needed some blood, and I had to give them what they needed, right, in order for me to get to that next level. So let's get into what does it mean to activate, right? Because I said there's two activations that happen: monarch, menopause, right? Activate is to set something in motion. All right, to make something operative. So the first activation being in coming into menstruation is the activation of the reproductive cycle. Okay, your reproduction has been activated. You now can what? Have a child. You now can get pregnant. You now can start a family. But not only is your reproduction activated, usually your senses down there is activated too. Puberty has taken place, right? The woman's body begins to bloom. She is budding. Okay, she's budding, she's blooming, she's activated. More than likely, she's starting to twerk and dance everywhere and move in the mirror and look at herself, and keep circulating and gyrating. She's doing all these things that most older women are telling her to stop doing because she's being what? Fast. That area has been activated and it needs movement. Let's be clear. It needs movement. So we have to stop making our young girls feel bad because they're in the mirror gyrating or they're bouncing or they're twerking. Many of them don't even know what exactly what they're doing, but that is actually a call to the activation of our sacral chakra. It is the call to that reproduction. It is necessary for us as young women to activate that what portal, which is the womb. Okay, let's go into rites of passage. Rites of passage is a ritual or an event. So I hope y'all got your pen and paper. Or you record, honey. I'm recording. I'm recording. And I'm live, Love My Womb Academy on YouTube. So you'll be able to go back and listen to this as well. So rites of passage is a ritual or an event, an experience that marks or constitutes a major milestone or change in a person's life. A major milestone or change in a person's life. So I named the two activations, the two very pivotal rites of passage that women have, monarch, menopause. They constitute a major milestone or change in a woman's life. They are necessary. And it's unfortunate that many of our sisters don't get to experience that second level of rites of passage with body wisdom and activation because they've had a hysterectomy early in life. So they don't necessarily get to experience that rites of passage that comes with perimenopause and menopause. Many of us have been, it was shame and guilt has been brought to menstruation and menopause. Menstruation has been brought shame and guilt because of the blood, and most people look at it as being dirty and all of this. No, it is not dirty. And I'm so glad me and Mama Adila was able to go in a couple of weeks ago on the honor that needs to be there for menstruation in young girls. That is the portal being activated so that we can bring forth humans here on the earth. There's no other way that it can be done. It has to be the ritual and the spilling of the blood. It has to be. Understand this. That is nothing to be ashamed of. That is nothing that is dirty. You have to give honor to that spilling of the blood. Okay? Many of y'all over there giving honor to the blood in the church house. This ain't got nothing to do with religion, but you're over there drinking of the blood and eating of the flesh. It is a spilling of the blood. They know the sacrament that blood. There's so much biological, spiritual, in science in the blood. There's so much there, epigenetics, ancestral history, even knowing your blood type. Mama Adila said something a couple of weeks ago. She said, we got to be our own body scientists. Well, the science is in the blood, right? So understand there's nothing to feel dirty or shameful about. We must honor and accept it, such as honoring and accepting the transition that we go through in menopause, right? So our sisters who have had hysterectomy, you get some time, go over to lovemywomacademyonline.com. Go ahead and sign up and take the class called the Anarcha Project. The Anarcha Project. It is a whole discussion that I had with Dr. Jada Moore Ruffin, who has explained what a woman needs to do to restore some hormonal balance and some feminine health and wellness after having a hysterectomy. Right? And how even if you have a hysterectomy, you still have the energy imprint of your womb goddess. That energy imprint is still there. You are still a woman. Our guest, Lillian Browning, I remember back in 20, was it 20? It was 2001. We was calling Sacred Woman on the phone. We was calling Gwen. Let me bring my sister in here. This is my big sister, if y'all don't know, y'all. This is my big sister right here. Come on, Leah. Hold on. Let me get you over here. And let me tell y'all how we called we were studying Queen of Fools, Sacred Woman in 2001.
Yes.
2001. Hey, Lil, tell everybody who you are.
Good morning. My name is Lillian Browning, and I practice as a women's health nurse practitioner. And yes, Tracy and I were in the on digging through the book because we didn't have, the electronics, and we found the phone number, and we get on the phone, and unfortunately, we were only able to talk to her son. Well,
Uh-huh.
that wasn't enough for Tracy. Tracy kept on going, 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 going until she was able to reach her. And that I guess that really shows how important this work is and what the spirits have put into both of us. I went on a more clinical path, and Tracy went on a more spiritual path. But the idea is that we as women are magnificent and incredible. And we need, now that we're elders, we're teaching our women whom they are always to the very end, aging. Tracy says that, she's been celebrating 58 solar circles. I'm 68, and I will not stop. And I have so much to offer and so much to teach regarding it.
Yes, yes. So, explaining menopause, menopause is the natural, excuse me, succession that occurs in a woman between the ages of 45 and 55. That's what they say. Let's be
Correct.
clear. That's what they say. It's 12 consecutive months without a period. Me and Lil have discussed this on multiple occasions. We call this the wisdom years. These are the
Yes.
wisdom years. This is the marking of the end of reproduction, which means it is time to release. It is time to release and restore.
Yes.
Release and restore. It is time to reduce serving and to begin to receive. It is a time to get out, usually out of the mothering,
For
and to
sure.
begin to enjoy the grandmothering that is coming from that, right? So it says that a woman, scientifically, that a woman between 45 and 55 is going to be experiencing menopause. Well, let's be clear, due to diet, and we're going to get into that because that is a major factor on how you will experience your menopause, right? Due to diet and in environmental factors such as stress, empty nest, depression, grief, anxiety, uh, lifeless, loveless marriages and relationships. Let's be clear. Also, friendships, lifeless, loveless friendships, toxic relationships, jobs that we have been working on for years that we're unhappy with. Like, all of these are factors on how we will be received during our time of transitioning into menopause, right? So it's happening because of the diet and environmental factors. What we're finding is menopause is happening earlier. It is not at 45, 55. You have sisters coming in is 38, 38, experiencing perimenopause, going into the transition of menopause. So that's what perimenopause is. Perimenopause is the transition several years before menopause can last for a few months. Excuse me, perimenopause can last anywhere from a few months to up to 10 years. I believe I started perimenopause around 48. I remember I started seeing menstruation changes around 48. That's when I started getting the skips, right? I have been learning through if I'm a researcher. If I experience my whole life is a school, let's be clear. And I make it transparent for other people. Because I know I'm here with human family, and we all trying to get through this thing called life. So when I learn something, or I'm going through an experience, or an activation, or a rites of passage, guess what? I get to researching and studying it because I need to understand myself. I'm studying myself. And as I find that information, I come and share it. I share the information. I don't keep it to myself. Why? Because my sister's over here struggling, trying to figure out what's going on with them at 38, 35, 40, and don't understand what's happening. Right? Let's talk a little bit about it, Lil. Let's go into what you've seen and experienced being a women's health practitioner, a nurse practitioner, because this is a pioneer, y'all. I need to let y'all, she's been doing this work. How many years you been doing this work now, Lil?
I have been doing this work since 1992.
Did y'all hear that? So I ain't brought no amateur to you. I brought somebody that knows, okay, that can help us understand and has been through it because she's a woman. My first suggestion would be to go to an older woman who is a holistic doctor or a women's health professional. Please stop going to the men. I'm
Yes.
just going to say it. This is not a space in place for men. Okay, Leo, go ahead, take over. Take over.
Okay. What I see a lot of is indeed what Goddess Tracy just said. A lot of women intuitively look for an older woman, and they have difficulty finding us actually because it's such a patriarchal medicine. Traditional medicine is so patriarchal that they have difficulty finding us. They're becoming more and more holistic practitioners, functional medicine practitioners that are females. And when a woman comes in, as Tracy said, I'm seeing younger and younger, and I'm even confused because I was, trained in traditional medicine, and I'm looking at this 38-year-old who is telling me that she's having perimenopausal symptoms without saying that word, right? And I'm like, no, this cannot be what's going on. Let me look into something. It has to be something else. And no, she is truly making that transition. I'm seeing women who are bleeding so heavily, it's almost as though the womb is crying blood because they are bleeding to what we call anemia. They need, some of them need transfusion, some of them need iron supplementation, and we're all baffled. Why is this woman bleeding so much? We do our clinical exam, we look at the ultrasound. On ultrasound, she's perfect, except she's got this really thick lining. Why is that developing? I don't have that answer exactly why, but what I'm learning is it's more and more due to stress and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
We are consuming chemicals that our body wasn't designed to consume. So we are manifesting side effects based on what we're consuming. We're also consuming day to day stress, and we're not letting go. We're not allowing it to, that old saying, be like a duck and roll off our back. We are ingesting it and we're manifesting physical symptoms based on stress from work, stress from trying to continue to be a mother when you're truly a grandmother.
Oh.
Okay, some of our roles we have to, right? But those roles weren't designed for us to do, so we're stressed. And I spend a lot of time just talking. It's not always about giving someone a pill. Sometimes we just need to know that somebody cares. Sometimes we just need to know that somebody's been there and they've made it over. I'm seeing a lot of relationship disturbances, probably in the late 30s, early 40s. And these are women who have given, and now they're tired and they think they're sick physically. And they're telling me, this is going on, that's going on, that's going on. And I don't understand why, I'm having these migraines. I don't understand why, my period is all messed up. I don't understand. And in my mind, and I have to, slowly as a, what is it, a matriarch, slowly allow them to release so that I can bring them back to you're not broken. You are manifesting symptoms based on what you're experiencing.
Mm.
And I cannot begin to tell you how many women get better just knowing that somebody gave a darn enough to hear them out because we are spiritual as well. Um, Tracy talks about the blood. There are secrets that our blood has, and only few people know how to tap into it. You go to the doctor, you get your blood work done, and they say, oh, everything's fine. No, there are optimal levels. There's regular levels and there's optimum levels that a woman should have. And without knowing where you are in that range, it looks like you're okay, but you'd feel horrible. And you keep going to another doctor, because somebody, they're not working. They telling me this and I'm still feeling horrible. You have to look for practitioners who are able to go to the root cause. And the root cause is generally nutrition. Not always, but generally nutritional deficiencies, deficiencies of simple things like the B complex. B complex helps with our mood, particularly B6. It helps to lift us out of some of the depression because, yes, in spite of it all, our estrogen was designed to decline. But when it declines, we lose so many things. Some of you may talk about brain fog. I know for me, often I have to say a paragraph for one word, because I can't find the word. So I say a paragraph to get my point across. Things like the B6 vitamin or the B complex will help us in that regard. There's zinc. We heard a lot about zinc when COVID came out, our immune systems, because aging is truly an honor and a process, because we weren't designed to be immortal, right? So there's a slow process, but we can optimize it. We can have quality of life, not necessarily longevity. That's a good thing. But if you have longevity without quality, then you're kind of out of balance. So what else do I see? I I see a lot of, like I said, just plain trying to deal with environmental stress. And we're often thinking that we have to run away from something, we have to get away from the stress. We have to, and that thought means always lack. We're getting away, we're getting away, we're getting away. Change the terminology into we're going toward. We're going
Mm.
toward our next level. We're going toward the completion or the embracing of our rites of passage. Yes, menopause is the pausing of menstruation, but that doesn't mean stop. It means a new beginning into another level. Menarche is a new beginning, the beginning, as Tracy said, of our reproductive years, our woman years, right? And menopause is the beginning of our wisdom years.
Yes.
I see mostly, and I'm sitting here really going through my mind because I'm saying the same thing over and over again because it's really what I'm seeing. I'm seeing women needing women. They just need a woman who cares and who understands and sees them. Many of my folks walk out feeling better. Some of them don't come back because they feel so much better. Some of them come back and they don't need the medicine that I gave them because their symptoms have improved. And I think that speaks to the energy in which we care for one another. We nurture all of our lives, whether we have children or not, we're nurturers. And when we nurture one another, we improve. But again, look for someone who can tell you what your blood work is really saying. If any time a doctor tells you, oh, all your blood work is fine, I don't know why you feel bad. There's a reason. And sometimes very simple. It's not that you have some horrible, drastic disease. It may just be a little bit of vitamin D. Vitamin D helps with our immune system. It helps with our clarity. It helps with our moods. We don't go out in the sunshine so much anymore, really, because we can't. We burn. So some real certain vitamin D, and you have to put vitamin D with other things to activate it. Um, So that's what you look for. Bleeding in our society, especially those of us who are melanated, everybody was yanking our wombs out, right? That doesn't have to be. Unless she has a major disease, there are ways to work with her so that she doesn't bleed as heavily or at all, depending on where you are in the aging spectrum. And that's kind of what was on my heart to say. So if there are any other questions, I'll answer them, Tracy, but that was on my heart.
Oh, that's so beautiful. I'm so glad that you are a part of this women's wellness community because that's what the mothers gave me. The mothers told me that during our transitions in these activations and rites of passage, that what is needed and most important is community and connection with menstruation and with menopause. Community and connection. We need women. Women need women during these two very important rites of passage. This is not the time that we shy away from each other. Many times we're going to older women to get answers about menopause, but it's unfortunate a lot of the older women don't know because
Right.
they too was removed for the body from their body awareness due to different traumas or due to what going to certain doctors who told them didn't necessarily diagnose them properly. Them not understanding. The first sign and thing we hear when we ask about what's going on with us in the system. Our elders say, "Well, girl, how old are you?" You be like 45. They be like, "Oh, baby, you going through the change." But all you hear is about hot flashes. That's the main thing you hear, hot flash, and every now and then you might hear about brain fog, right? And fatigue. That's all you get. But there are so many symptoms that are overlooked. Brain fog is the major one for me. It was brain fog and forgetfulness. I felt mentally challenged when I was going through perimenopause. I was like, hold on. I knew what I wanted to say, and I might have been in mid conversation, and it just the whole thought just left me, and I'm standing there looking, trying to pick up where I left off, and can't get back to my communication in my thought. But I'm pausing too long, so it's making that this it's making it very awkward, very awkward. I'm feeling challenged mentally, little, and I'm like, what is going on with me? Oh my God. And I didn't quite understand. That was like the first thing for me. Second thing, fatigue. And usually it's adrenal fatigue, right? The
Correct.
adrenals, the hormones. Talk a little bit about that, Lil. Talk a little bit about that
You know,
adrenal fatigue. Help those of us who are here to understand what is that.
the adrenals are a part of our fight or flight, okay? And I'm using the word fight or flight, but when we are in a stressful situation, our bodies, our minds, our energy is designed to either stand up against it or to flee. Well, physically, we can't flee from the television, from the stress that's around us. Okay. I mean, we can turn it off, but then as soon as you pick up the phone and talk to one of your friends and they bring it back to you, right? So, stress. And the adrenals are constantly pumping out whatever we need to survive. But that's day to day. It's not burst, it's day to day to day to day. So, what is the word? Fatigue. They wear out, they get tired, they can't give. But they've pumped out all of this hormone, right? So, what do we also see? Weight gain, particularly around the mid level, okay, around the mid region of our body. And that's cortisol. That's the name of the hormone, cortisol. and it doesn't have anywhere to go. We can't take off running. We're not gonna fight. Fight what? Not physically, we're fighting in our minds, which increases the cortisol. So adrenal fatigue comes from overproduction of the cortisol level, which was designed to help us survive. And it's working kind of against us now. And when you see these, you see us, our big bellies, okay? Many of us used to have these little curves around the waistline. I always tell my patients, I'm doing a procedure and I say, put your arm where my waist used to be. Okay. So that is what adrenals are. They sit on top of the kidney. So that's why they're called adrenal, adrenal, above renal meaning kidney. So they sit above the kidneys. Very, very important organs. They also play a part in diabetes. When they are producing this cortisol, sugar is energy, right? So they're producing. They're making us utilize more sugar, which brings up our blood sugar levels. And so we have, you're saying, what do I see? A lot of pre-diabetes. And left alone, it will turn into diabetes. It doesn't have to, but all of this is stress related. And the kidneys, the adrenals were our weapon to survive. And now it's kind of working overtime and then it just gets tired, fatigued.
How important is the adrenals to our sexual nature?
Oh Lord, they play a big role with our testosterone. When they're fatigued, our libido goes pew, down. Okay. When they're functioning well, then we're functioning well. Estrogen is the one that we always talk about, but all of us women need a little testosterone. And the adrenals play in that. Testosterone is actually what activates our libido or keeps our libido going. And when the adrenals are fatigued, we don't have that either. So we feel fat, or we are around the middle, fatigued, and have no sex drive. Those things can be naturally corrected by the way we eat. I'm not a master on that. I won't say that I am. I'm still learning on that regard. But if there are master herbalists or people who are masters in nutrition, those are people to tap into because they can tell us processed foods are not our friend. Mother Nature's kitchen is our friend.
Yes. Yes. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it. So me and Lil was speaking earlier, and we had made a very conscious connection because as I'm going through my detoxes, for those of you who don't know, I've had my 4th detox series that I've been experiencing since the beginning of the year. I'm happy to say, as a result of detoxing, this was not intentional. Let's be clear. I was detoxing to clear, have some mental clarity, and be able to hear the divine downloads and receive them from the Most High in my spirit team and my ancestors. So I needed to change my eating habits. I needed to become more disciplined. So in this 4th detox, what I recognized and what came to me in studying and researching foods and as medicine, that much of our perimenopause and menopausal symptoms aren't all hormonal related. They are food related, nutrition deficiencies. Let's go into that. Me and Lil said that quickly as we were speaking this morning. She said, I'm doing some research and I found it's not on hormones. She said it's diet related, it's food related. I said, you know what? I came to that too. So that's the meeting of the minds, and we confirmed each other's information that we both researched and received. Now, she's going to come from this clinical perspective of telling us how important it is for us to, those of you sisters who are here, who may be experiencing or who are coming up on experiencing this menopausal state, perimenopausal state, or those of my sisters who've already experienced it. Diet, food, intake is, and nutrition is key. Nutrition is key to Every discomfort, disease, disorder, it all starts with nutrition, nutrition, nutrition. You can eliminate a lot of perimenopausal symptoms and the harsh effects of them if you just get your nutrition together now. Let's go in, Lil.
Um, one of the things that came to my mind, I'm having the brain fog thing. It is what it is. But when we talk about detox, what is that? What do you mean detox? You are getting rid of chemicals. I'm going to use that word, chemicals that have clogged up your energy systems. Because when we eat, food is our source of fuel. We have a car. If we, put the fuel all over the car, it doesn't work, right? It has to go in. So food is our fuel. It is what allows us to move through space, to our brains to think. We've been using rancid gasoline.
Ooh.
So we have to get rid of those things, that gasoline, that fuel that was working against us, and pour in the fuel that will help us to have our longevity, or if that's what we desire, our beautiful skin, our hair, our ability to think, our ability to move, even things like aches and pains, food. So there's also a saying that I'm learning, maybe many of you already know, but we should eat indigenously, meaning where we come from. You see those people who are in their native environments, they live to be, and they're wise because they're eating from their indigenous places. Those of us of the diaspora, we don't really know where our indigenous places are. Some of us have done the DNA, so we're finding out. But for the most part, we know it's not the standard American diet. We know that. So we can go to Mother Nature's kitchen, fruits, vegetables, protein, okay, seafood. Some of the things we've heard for years and years that we just shouldn't eat. We don't know why we've been hearing it. It was like the wisdom of the ages, pork. We shouldn't. We shouldn't eat it. Okay. Um, when it comes to, again, the nutrition, I'm learning that, as I spoke to you before, the B complex, the vitamin D, zinc, selenium is really important for brain health.
That's the big
All
one.
of those things are in food. Yes, we may have to supplement it because our soil has been stripped. But those of you with the green thumbs, plant those gardens. When I was little, all of the people in the neighborhood planted a garden. They didn't all grow the same thing, so they could share. So we have to, get our soil nutritious again and grow our plants, because the plants, the vegetables, and the fruits, they're the mainstay in addition to seafood and healthy proteins, range-free, cage-free. I'm gonna call it cage-free. Chickens, um, organic foods. So those things are where the food comes in. You don't need pills. Blood pressure can be reduced by the nutrition. But don't go do that until you've detoxed, number one. You've gotten rid of the junk. And then you add the healthy things in and you monitor your blood pressures. Part of the reason that African Americans have so many high blood pressure occurrences because we're not living for our indigenous foods. We're eating foreign stuff. So our body doesn't know how to break that down and react. But
Yes.
anyway, that's my heartfelt stuff. More
Yes, and
questions.
it's causing, it's causing reactions, it's causing health concerning reactions. I am big on getting your blood work done. Getting your blood work done, understanding the blood. It is not a coincidence that a woman's first activation and rites of passage is the releasing of the blood. That is not a coincidence.
May
We
I
don't
add?
know, come on, we don't know fully the
No.
science all the way because that is a higher, woo,
Functional medicine practitioners, look for them. They tend to be traditionally trained, but there's no answers in our traditional blood work. I told you that earlier. Oh, you're fine. Your blood work looks fine. No, I don't. I'm not fine. I don't care what that paper says. So you want to find practitioners who are able to unlock the secrets that are being kept in our blood work. And
Yes.
the answers, y'all, are not scary. How to fix those things is so simple that those who want to make capital on this have kept it a secret. So we have ranges that have nothing to do with what optimally works for us. If you
Yes.
got something 0 to 500 and you fall at 300, what if you were at 30? Are you still normal? Or you're at 499? You still normal? No, there are optimal ranges that people don't. Well, many practitioners they don't know. They're not just being mean. They were trained traditionally. So look for those functional practitioners are what they call.
Functional practitioners. I say my suggestion first is get your blood work done. Also know your blood type.
Yeah.
Blood type is very important. There are certain foods you need for your blood, certain nutritional stimulants and certain vitamins and minerals that you specifically need for your blood type, right? And I know many of you who are indigenous spiritual, what would I say? Priestesses, EIs, E5s, things like that. You have learned there's taboo foods. Oh, right, the actually Orisha that's over your head will tell you you cannot eat certain foods or don't bring certain foods as an offering because it is a taboo. That has to do with the blood. It
Yes.
has to do with the blood. Go ahead, Lil, and Lil has some, some interest and some background in being in EI, and we've actually studied together on some things. And
Yes.
my
Yes.
sister, this is my big sister, y'all. If y'all don't
Yeah.
know, we've been connected since 2000.
Yes. The one thing I want to say is to have an open spirit. We have been socialized, trained to block anything that doesn't sound American or Western or what is supported by big pharma. And I'm not knocking that there are some benefits, okay? But you have to have first an open mind to allow it in. I have been on a spiritual search since the 90s. Literally, I can say 1990. And I've studied multiple traditions, seeking where I fit. And I was able to find the Orishas, and I've come to understand more who I am. So when Tracy was saying taboo foods, absolutely. There are things that my body should not have. But
Yes.
how do you do that? What you guys are doing right now. You came to this meeting, those of you who will look at it, and it's no accident, so that you can learn more about yourself. We have a responsibility to teach the youth, to teach the women who we're passing the torches to. We're doing the groundwork, right? For so long, we didn't know. My grandmother had no clue. She knew that there was something about those tree tours in Louisiana, so she would go to them. But she felt like she was doing something wrong. Okay, even though she would go. So seek out our ancient African spirituality. You will find answers. You will, and open your mind, be discerning, ask the spirits to lead you to people who are about healing you, not just because so many people know us as African Americans, as people of diaspora. We don't know, so we're hungry, and we can sometimes run across unsavory people. But not if you have asked the spirits to guide you to the right group, to the right people. Here, Tracy and I are all about love, for real, for real. We just want you to do better. We want to share our experiences so that you can have a more quality life. Um, but yes, if I can speak out, I found not through the tradition, but I resonate with an Orisha called Oshun. And when I first heard about the Orishas and Oshun, I didn't want it because she had some trouble with men. And God knows I was having trouble with men.
They
So,
weren't honoring and respecting her. She took it all back.
yeah,
Whoa.
you're
They
right.
didn't
So,
realize how important that element of water was.
right. So, I mean, it's just a little thing, y'all. The bottom line is that we live a pure and authentic life. But there are many, many things that can shape whom we are and how we move. And when we go to the food thing, once you find out whom you are, and you will because you're searching, you're here, then you'll learn, like me, that food is the answer. And know your blood type. Why is it we know our birthday, but we don't know our blood type? Why is it that when you go to a provider and you ask them their blood type, say, oh, you don't need to know that? Why? I need to know
Mm,
my birthday, but I don't need to know my blood type. That's more important than anything. So ask them for your blood type or find a functional practitioner who will do that work for you. As soon as you hear your blood type, make that stick in your brain because that defines what is best for you.
mm-hmm.
Okay, make it stick just like your birthday. Okay.
Your blood type has to do with your soul blueprint. Let's be clear. Your blood type has to do with your soul blueprint and how you came to navigate here on this earth. Not only to get your blood work done, understanding your blood type, get your paperwork. Take that paperwork home with you. Every time I go get my blood done, she gives me my paperwork. Even though I don't know how to read it, I have it. So if I come into contact with somebody else that may know how to read it, I can bring that with me. I can get a deeper understanding. You, as Mama Adila said, we are our own scientists, honey. We are our own doctors. We are our first level of healing because the body knows, but we have to reconnect. I want to thank you so much for joining me today from Monarch to Menopause. I'm going to go ahead and open up the platform for those of us who have questions, comments, or concerns, or just want to speak. I'm opening that up now. I hope that this brought you value on today.
Please feel free
My,
to ask the questions, you guys.
yes, come on through here, Mama Adila.
Greetings, my dear sisters.
Yes.
And I don't have a question, but I do have a couple of comments. Number one, Tracy, I love you. Thank you for opening up this venue because I'm so strongly believing that our healing, our womb healing, is based in the community of women. And we have to have more opportunities for us to get together, share, and reconnect. And so one thing I want to share is that those of us who are postmenopausal, perimenopausal, the older women, we've lost our tools. And so, I'm all about trying to gather up our tools. And one thing that is very important for getting us reconnected is spending time in silence, journaling, to really get our thoughts up and to help us disconnect, not so much disconnect, reconnect, and to take our power back. So, sitting in quiet and asking the source creator for answers, we can tap in. We can get this knowledge. We can reclaim what our ancestors were not able to pass down to us. It is available. And, we've been taught that women can't get along, and that's not true. That's part of the divide and conquer. So we have to reprogram ourselves into the natural order of things. So I'm happy to be present, and I want to thank you and everyone who's present.
Thank you, Mama Adila. And for those of you, if you want to hear where me and Mama Adila, we did our actual first Monarch to Monarchy a couple of weekends ago on a Sunday. And that's also on YouTube, Monarch to Monarchy. That's part one. So we're actually doing part two now. We're going more into menopause, where Mama Adila actually has a group, a program for young girls that are coming into the Monarch. So, but we have information for both levels of activation, which is so important. But we need to truly understand what are they? Because we've been given so much misinformation. I'm here to break the silence, break the shame, break all of them. We finna get down to it. The community of women, we finna get this information. We finna get this back together. We're not finna let nobody tell us about our bodies. It's time out for that, sugar. It's time out for that. We ain't finna let them come run up in here and they just gonna keep taking. No, it's time for us as a community of women to pour back. And those of us who are researching and studying and knowing and understanding and getting the downloads, it is our responsibility to go back into our community of women and share this information. Okay, Mama Adila, can you come on and tell us a little bit about your program and how they can find your program before we end for our young girls coming into the Monarch, coming into the moon cycle? Unmute yourself, Mama Adila.
Okay, so we have a program really. We have rites of passage from the menarche all the way to postmenopause because our culture presently has not done a good job of taking us through rites of passage at every level. And so even for the elders, we need rites of passage because we've lost our way. And so many times when we're in settings like this, we're still trying to reclaim and reclaim that legacy of knowledge that we were cut off from. So we like to start with the young girls because when you start early understanding the beauty, the power in womanhood is revolutionary, in my opinion, because it gives you a totally different outlook, a different outlook on how you carry yourself in the world, a different outlook on how you allow folk to approach you, you know, what you're going to accept and what you're going to stop at the door and say, no, that's unacceptable. I'm not accepting that. So this is what we teach because it's in the language. When we were enslaved, language was a part of that enslavement. And so how we communicate, we have to really be conscious of the words we're using, our actions, everything is important. Everything is connected to our higher selves. And this is a message we want to get to young girls on the beauty. There is no shame in womanhood. It's quite powerful. And if you think about it, capitalism, patriarchy, white supremacy, it is all hinged on us being minimized. When we understand who we are, they have to die. That cannot exist when we know who we are and we step together as a unit in unity. So that's why it's so important for women to come together and have these conversations to share their understanding so that we can correct our ways.
How can they connect with the program? How can what do they need?
We have a website, Celebrating Sacred Connection. And Tracy, I'll send you the link so that you can send it out to everyone because it's
Celebrating
Celebrating Sacred Connections.com. No, I want to send you the link because it's not easy for me to even tell you. I'll send it to you. Okay. Yes, good. But yes, we definitely want all the young girls to know this because this is how we're going to transform our communities. You know, study the community within because you are a community within yourself.
Come on.
And when you understand the community within yourself, you can operate better in the bigger community.
Yes. So thank you so much, Mama Adila. We appreciate you and we love you. Mwah.
Love you too.
All right. Go ahead, Jaleel. You got to come off mute. Okay.
This is from my soul. So many of the women of the diaspora have been hysterectomized, and they need to know that they're still a part of this community. I love what you said. Our energy is still there. And I just want to shout that from the mountain tops. You're not excluded.
Right.
You're still a part of.
Thank you for that. Thank you for that. That energetic vibration of your womb is still there. You're still very much female, right? You know, regardless if it has been removed or not, there was activation there. There was movement there. There's energy. There's still an energy imprint in your womb space right now. For those of you who have had hysterectomy, please go to the Anarcha Project on lovemywombacademyonline.com. It is totally free. I am giving these free offerings to you, my sisters, because this is how important it is for this information to get out no matter what your current economic situation is. It has nothing to do with you being a woman and needing to be in a healthy, emotionally, mentally, and physical head, space. These free offerings that I'm sharing with you are so important. Now, I do have I want to point this out before I move on. Lil said, menopause means pausing to menstruation. Okay. I also say, and y'all can, hey, y'all can quote me on this. Menopause also means men all pause. We remember that song, the men all pause when you walk into the room. Honey, no. Men, we need y'all just to pause for a moment. We need, as Mama Dila said, alone time. We need rest. It is a time of restoration from nurturing, giving, and serving for all those 50 plus years. It is time out for the asking and the delivering and the cooking and the cleaning. It is a time when we need to relax into this next transition. It is not a high energy transition. Let's be clear. So we need men to pause, be considerate, and participate in our health and wellness. It is something you will not thoroughly understand. Just understand that's why we need our community of women in that time. So, brothers, please, if you're listening, pause, and we tell you to do this in love. Check on us from time to time, but really just leave us alone and bring us a fan or a blanket. That's bring us some chlorophyll, some juice or something, like just see about us. Okay, it's a time of restoration, honoring the body, honoring the wisdom that you have experienced within 50 plus years. Honoring all of that, positive, negative, good, bad, honoring. Honor, it's a time of body honor, temple honor, God honor. That's the time that menopause is. Okay. Any last words, Lillian?
Just remember you are magnificent. And our connection, woman to woman, is almost scary for our patriarchs because we're so magnificent. That's all I have to say. Remember who you are. And if you don't know, come to your elders and find out.
Yes. I'm so happy to be coming into my wisdom years. I am honoring them. A lot of people say I don't tell my age or, oh girl, no, I I love telling people I'm 58. And baby, because of the melanin, Lil is 68. Baby, because of the melanin, I might be light bright, but I got some melanin because look at me. 58 look every bit of 38, 48. I'm allowing my grade to come in. Like I'm truly honoring this aging, this wisdom that comes with it, and all of the experiences that I've had up until now. I have to honor it in order to really receive the blessing. And that's going to come with some changes. That's going to come with me desiring and understanding what it is this rites of passage truly means. And honoring that, honoring seeing the raising of my grandchildren, honoring it. And many of us have been recycled as grandparents. We went from what I know I raised my grandchildren for 20 years. Okay, I've had them since they was 1 and 2. I got recycled as a mother. So not only did I raise my children, I raised my grandchildren. And you have a lot of that within the Black community. Grandmothers being recycled, right? So this is even more of a precious time where I'm supposed to take a seat back because see now they 20 and 21. They doing college life. Now I get to what? Rest. I get to rest in it. I get to honor it, right? I get to honor my body. I get to honor all of my experiences and own them and stand in the power of the wisdom and the teaching and the blessing that came with them. So it's okay. I don't even want to call it just aging gracefully, even though that's good too. I say age audaciously, honey. Age audaciously. Be like, oh, no, she didn't. Oh, yes, I did. All 58 years of me. I want to thank you. Does anybody have anything else they want to say before we end today? Thank you, goddesses, for being present. For those of you who are listening here from actual YouTube, you can go ahead and like, share, and subscribe to Love My Womb Academy. We will be bringing this series back. I will be having some more awesome elders that will be coming to speak about this rites of passage, this very natural progression in a woman's life, monarch to menopause. And what does that look like? And understand it is personal for everyone. What it may look like for Lil is not going to look like for me. What it may look like for Mama Adila is not going to look like for, Imani, or Shanita. It is personal. Okay. So, the different symptoms that I received, you might not receive. But, there's more than just hot flashes. Let's be clear. I talked about the brain fog, but there's itching, body itching, and feel like something crawling on you. There's ears ringing. There's the mental lapses. There's a smell. Oh, the smell. You smelling smells. I already have the gift of smell. So I've been smelling spirits and ancestors way from my youth. But now I'm really smelling things like, and I'm like, you don't smell that? And people looking at me like, what's going on with it, right? You have smell. You have joint pain. Joint pain. You automatically associated with what, author? Oh, author, you want to say arthritis, right? No, it is menopause. But let me tell you one major experience that most women have: hip pain. Hip pain. What else, Lil? Come on. Shoulder. What else?
Hip pain, shoulder pain. And when I was talking about odor, not everybody can remember this but I used to call it the old age smell. Okay. And that has to do with our diet. Right? So here we go again, right? So those are the things that people come in, and they're like, they have a body odor and they're not sure what's going on.
Ooh. Oh, okay. Anything else that I left out? Because I know it's a lot of them. I just want to be clear because see, some of you trying to figure out what's going on with you. You're 35, 38, coming up on 40, some of you in your 40s. The doctor have not been able to tell you and diagnose what is actually happening here. Something else you pointed out real quick, Lil, last time we were speaking on Feminine Alchemy, the podcast, you spoke about how they will test your hormone levels and they will be normal many times
Yeah,
and you're going through perimenopause.
and that's kind of what I was talking about with the whole blood work thing. There are ways that we can figure out that you're in perimenopause, but the ranges are so large that you'll be told you're fine. You're not in menopause. You know, they'll say perimenopause, but they're just saying it because of your bleeding cycle. So indeed, your blood work may show normal, but as she said, get your blood work, keep it, and ask spirits to guide you to someone who can truly help you interpret it and give you some of the keys as to what's going on. Because simply having a normal hormonal profile does not mean that you are not in perimenopause or even menopause.
Yes, thank you. Thank you so much. How can we find you, Lil?
You have to go through Tracy right now. I'm still working on my website, but it will be coming, and Tracy will probably be one of the first people to know. But if you need me, reach out to Tracy, and I will get back to you.
And for those of you, I am Tracy, the Sacred CEO on Instagram. I am Tracy R. Bryant on Facebook. I also have Tracy, the Sacred CEO page over there as well. We discussed a lot today, and I want to thank you for bringing, bringing your attention and opening your mind and sitting with us for the past hour. It's been amazing. This was a lot of very valuable information. I hope you received it well, and have a beautiful day. And just to let you know that I did create a program with this. Of course, I'm not just going to stop here with the series of discussing it, but we wanted to open it up, especially as elders, because we understand that our elder community, this is kind of where they missed the mark, but it's reasons for justifiable reasons. They didn't know. But those of us who do know, we're coming to our younger community to share the information. Like, share, subscribe to Love My Womb Academy. I do have a Menarch to Menopause 4-week program that will begin on Saturday, October 5th. It's every Saturday for 4 weeks. However, right now, we're just going to talk about it. I want to be able to just share some information, but we'll be able to go deeper in that 4-week program. Those of you who are here on our actual meeting, if you want to go into the chat, I actually put a link there where you can sign up to be on the waiting list. Okay. Thank you so much. I'll go ahead and put that in the comments here too on YouTube. I want to thank you. Join us at Love My Womb Academy online.com for your free class on V-steaming for self-care, awaken the goddess within, as well as some plethora of other free classes. And join our community. Peace and blessings. And if you're on Facebook and you are over the age of 40, join us at Seasoned and Savvy Women Over 40, honey. That's where we are Asian audaciously, honey. Go on over there and check us out. I'm Tracy, the Sacred CEO. Peace and blessings. Have an amazing day.